Hello, fellow music lovers. Thank you for visiting my channel. My name is Caeser. Today we have a guest with us, Shawn James from the Greenpoint Gallery, and we're going to look at a performance by the band Focus of their big hit, Hocus Pocus. Before we get started, please like and subscribe. All the proceeds from this channel are donated to the Arete Living Arts Foundation. If you would like to support Arete Living Arts, you can join our Patreon or make a tax-deductible donation via PayPal. It's all in the links in the description. So Shawn, you're a visual artist, a musician, a filmmaker. Could you talk to us about your art?
Well, which part?
Yeah, that's the question. Well, let's start with the visual arts.
You know, as a kid, I started off just drawing, copying Spider-Mans out of the fun papers. Later on, collected comics and all the superheroes. I was so into it, I wanted to be able to recreate my own scenes, and then realize, hey, I'm actually kind of good at this. And all you needed was a pen and a notebook, or a pen and a sketchbook, a couple pencils, and some markers, and could entertain myself for hours. And so it really just was something that I enjoyed. I got better at it as I did it, continued with it, and studied painting in college. Eventually getting my master's degree, and just loved everything about it, oil paint. And I think that you get to a certain point where there was always a piano or an acoustic guitar in the house growing up. I was in the orchestra from elementary school.
And what instrument were you playing?
I started off with the violin.
Wow.
You know, I hated it, every bit of it, but I was really small as a kid, and I was small. And when I got to my teen years, I begged. My mom eventually acquiesced and let me get an electric guitar. I think I was probably 13, and that changed everything musically for me. And this was, of course, in the 80s. MTV had just burst on the scene, and all those great bands from the early days of the MTV years, and that media was such an influence in what was cool. So I discovered sometime during the college years that in deepening my art practice, that there was a correlation, or that art and music came from the same toolbox of expression, or artistic expression, and maybe the painting is more of a screwdriver and the rock and roll was more of a hammer, to give an analogy. So, but they both came from or housed in the same, in wherever that juice comes from. So it was, I found that sometimes when things weren't going as smoothly, or I was stuck for an idea with my art, that my music would flourish, or vice versa. And having the different outlets to be able to vacillate between really became sanctuary, or not feeling guilty or bad because I was having a block in one particular area or another. And then by being creative in a multitude of disciplines in high school and college, they're constantly trying to get you to focus. Oh, you have to pick just one, Shawn. You can't be good at everything. I say both. You can be good at whatever you want to be good at. And I cultivated those skills which pleased me in the act of doing them, and tried to put that passion of that pleasure, that experience, into what's coming out in the creativity. I think if you're true to your art, that is what comes shining through in your work, whether it's music, a performance, or dance, visual arts.
Yeah, I think that's pretty insightful, because I found the same thing, that if you're blocked in one medium, you can go continue to be a creative in another, and somehow that will like refill you again. You go back to the original one, and suddenly you're refreshed and have new ideas.
Yeah.
Now you have a painting you did that I particularly like. It's the American flag, but it's not, I wouldn't call it realism. It's got an interesting texture to it. Is there anything you can tell us about that painting?
Yeah, that was from the earlier part of my career. It's called Flag. There's over 200 famous American faces throughout our history in there.
Oh wow! I'm gonna look at it.
There's little tiny like fractures of an image, so it's not the whole thing. There's like George Washington's eye from the dollar bill. There's Thomas Jefferson's, both of his eyes from the $20 bill. There's a tiny profile of JFK. There's Marilyn Monroe, Abraham Lincoln. You name it. Anybody who's in there is in there. Is in there.
So it's a variety of cultural icons,
little fractions, like a mirror that's been shattered, and so the image gets caught in little tiny juxtaposed, and you really have to be looking for them. And it's painted in layers. I worked on it for just a 2-year period, and it's based on the American flag, of course, and as the light hits it at different parts of the day, the natural light. I don't want to spoil a surprise if you're lucky enough to ever see it in person, but it takes on different characteristics as the natural light rises and shines on it.
I'm going to have to spend more time looking at it. So you've been involved in some filmmaking and film projects. Can you talk about any of that?
I've always loved film since I was a kid. It was always a dream. Boy, I sure would love to work in the movies, and I was fortunate enough to work my way into being lucky enough to have worked on a number of well-known TV shows and films, tons of independent stuff, which I almost prefer a little more, because in those instances I'm given a little more leeway in terms of being creative and to come up with creative solutions for more low budget younger artists that are just trying to get their start in the business. And of course we rent space for TV and film productions, and so the space really lends itself to the opportunity, plus our expertise with special effects and special effects makeup. So we do a lot of indie horror movies, and I always loved those as a kid, still love them today. So it's been a really great dream come true to be able to really exercise some of those skills and do something really fun.
Now, one of the things I know you do is, I don't know what you would call it, it's set design, but it's creating certain objects.
Props.
Art pieces in themselves. Is there anything you can tell us? For instance, you have we have
the Aztec Calendar that we made a super realistic reproduction of. That's been used in several different films, both indie and regular. I'm kind of one of the expert foam carvers on the East Coast, so if they need something that looks like it's a steel girder or looks like it's a giant stone carving, it weighs 10 pounds, so the actor can easily lift it. Also can easily move for set changes, transportation, etc.
A technical question. How do you do that? I saw they have like these hot wires. Do you use those?
Yeah, I didn't on that. I actually used a series of retractable razor blades and sandpaper.
Wow.
I did it pretty old school.
Wow.
In parts of it, I worked on it for almost a better part of a year. Obviously not every day. It wasn't my full-time job.
Right.
Towards the end, I started wanting it to go a bit faster, so I did implement some Dremel sanding. But for the most part, in that particular piece, I really wanted to experience what the artist or family of artists who created that piece experienced when they made it. So spent that much time with something, doing it by hand.
Right. Now, if there's anybody out there who's interested in your art, your personal art, is there anywhere online that they could go to see some of it?
I think we're in the process of updating our website, which will feature a certain section where you will be able to see examples of my work and also purchase prints for a small donation that goes directly to the Greenpoint Gallery and the Arete Living Arts Foundation. Different price points for different sizes. We'll also have a series of T-shirts based on my work. This is one of them. Little shameless plug here for you folks. Get the shirt. It's cool.
That is cool. Well, great. Well, let's listen to some music. So what we have here is the group is called Focus, and my memory is that they're somewhere from, I think one of the Nordic countries somewhere. And this very weird song was a huge hit single in the early 70s. I remember hearing it when I was a little kid. I never saw that we're going to watch a live performance on the old Midnight Special, but even just hearing it, it was such a wacky song that I loved it. So here we go. Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Okay, I remember this one, yeah.
I'm going to stop it for a second and tell. This is a story I heard way back when I was a kid when this came out. That the way this was written, they were in rehearsal and not feeling very creative, just hanging out. The keyboard player didn't have his keyboard up and running, and the bass player maybe did a lick, like a run, and the drummer responded with his own run. The guitar player responded, and since the keyboard player didn't have his keyboard set up, he just spontaneously yodeled, and finally that inspired them, and they put together this song that was I think their only huge hit.
Yeah.
happened to American culture. It wasn't that they're American, but that you never have this weirdness in the mainstream, at least as far as I can tell.
Well, I mean, I've been around this music scene for a long time, and God bless these guys, but they look pretty high. the drum player's jaw is going like this, like, and the guy, when the keyboard player is, before he's starting the song, he's like, and the guitar player, the same thing, he's going like, teeth grinding. Do you like the yodeling? Do you like the yodeling? Biscuit, you like the yodeling? Pops out. What the heck is that?
So my question was, when they finished writing that, did they say, this is going to be a hit? You know?
Well, when you say writing, I mean...
Yeah, that's a whole,
yeah.
another issue.
How do you write the vocals? You know, there was no actual lyrics.
Yeah.
Yodeling, yodeling, yodeling.
Yeah.
Bump, bump.
And it was really like, I think, just 4 chords in the full band part.
Yeah, but it had 3 separate drum solos.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And the guitar player got a lot of time to rip off.
Yeah,
some
fast stuff. They were like kind of loose in the beginning, but they tightened up real quick. But the singer, every time he would get to the end of the yodeling, before it came to the high part, he actually looked like he was in pain.
Yeah.
And then when he would be finished with the high part and then do the next part of it, and then his relief would wash over his face, and his eyeballs are bugging out and going all different ways, and I'm like, I wonder if he's hamming it up for the camera, or if that's just him naturally, that's what he's processing, that's his body's reacting that way. I wonder if these guys are still playing.
You know, I think maybe they are with still the keyboard player. I don't know if any of the other originals. But, you know, that must take some incredible breath control to do the things he was doing.
And to be able to do that and play those very intricate patterned keyboard pieces at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a talent.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I've loved this song since I was a kid, but I've never heard another song by the band. I don't know if everything else is boring or whether there's full of great stuff that I've never taken the time to check out.
Is it all yodeling? You know?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh goodness, that was fun.
That was great.
Well, thank you for visiting with us, Shawn. And thank you for visiting. Hope to see you soon.